Hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 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 hello. 1, 2, 3.
I'm a dancer, and I'm a traveler. And wherever I go, I experience the world one dance at a time. I'm Mickela Mallozzi, and this is Bare Feet in NYC. Bare Feet is supported in part by
Bloomberg Connects gives you a way to experience the arts from your mobile phone. You can explore hundreds of cultural organizations from around the world, anytime, anywhere. Learn more at bloombergconnects.org or wherever you find your apps.
Bolivians are among the smallest population of South American cultures in the United States. Less than 10,000 Bolivian Americans call the New York metro area home. Queens is home to many Bolivians living in New York City, but surprisingly enough, there isn't a neighborhood that is characterized as being predominantly Bolivian in New York. And because of this, family living rooms, apartment basements, and school auditoriums are where Bolivian Americans continue their legacy. On this Bare Feet in NYC adventure, I meet with the small but mighty group of Bolivian Americans who are preserving their heritage within their tight-knit community through music and dance. My first stop is to meet with the Fraternidad Cultural Incayate New York group, founded by Juan Jose Torrico. The group's mission is to continue the dance and music traditions that Juan learned in his home country of Bolivia. You are the founder of Incayata, which is a traditional folklore group here in New York.
Yes.
Explain a little bit about the group.
We started '89,
Wow.
and then for 3 years we stopped, and then we started by myself, the group.
Wow.
So in Callate, it started with 1992. We see the young people, at that time, and we don't have nothing to do, from my country. So that's the purpose, you don't want to lose that, no matter what, if you go any country, you have to learn, where I'm coming from.
Incayata is a family affair. Jose's daughters are part of the group, and his love for his homeland and the dance and music that come from there are passed down to his own children.
1, 2, and then you're gonna clap that way. 1, 2, 3, 3 of them. 1, 2, now clap the other way. 1, 2, 3, there you go.
Abby, Juan's oldest, leads Incayata through the rehearsals for upcoming parade performances. Does your mom dance?
Yeah, she does. We all dance. We all
awesome.
do. Yeah, it's our whole family. Pretty much, my parents actually met dancing. Yeah, it was like a celebration that they did for the Virgin Mary, and they met through that.
It's so cool that you can come here and he passes down his tradition to you and share a dance with him.
Pretty busy. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's something that takes up a lot of our free time, but not a lot of kids are able to be in touch with their culture and know so much about it. Is it too tight?
No, I like it tight.
Good.
You need it tight, right? So it doesn't fall off. What is this called?
That's called faja.
Faja.
So I think a relatively simple, entire step for you to learn would probably be step 7. 3. So what you would do is you would go on that side, you would go 1, 2, 3, and your leg up. 1, 2, 3, other leg. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So you do 4 of those in the beginning.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. 1.
So explain to me what tinku is a little bit.
Tinku, it means encounter. So it's basically like 2 indigenous communities who come together and they end up fighting. Normally, a long time ago, it would be until one died.
Whoa.
However, yeah,
Wait,
now...
the dance? They would,
yeah,
they would do
fight.
the
It would
dance?
actually be... That's where the dance came from, because it was actually 2 communities who would fight.
Oh my gosh,
So it would
to
be,
the death.
Yeah, it's a
Wow.
fight to the death, and the body that ended up passing on or whatever, that body would end up being offered to the Mother Earth. So that's basically where the dance came from. But then, time passes and obviously, societies become more civilized. And it just turned into a dance, and now the fighting is a little more limited. They still do fight, but they don't
Not
get
to
up
the
into
death.
that. Forward. 1, 2, fall back, bum, bum, bum. Perfect.
So should I be twisting every time I go?
Yeah, when you do it it's just like that.
Like someone's-
Yeah, like you're falling out of balance. Like somebody
someone's
just pushed you.
pushing me,
Yeah,
right.
for example, that actually makes sense because when
The
you fight or whatever, they
encounter.
go like that, so
Yeah.
you're gonna go like that.
Tinku is a Bolivian tradition of the Aymara people, the indigenous people of Bolivia, who eventually fell under the Inca rule in the 15th century and then the Spanish rule in the 16th century. As Abby said, Tinku started as combat, which evolved into a dance. Originally, the women would never fight, but instead dance in a circle surrounding the men battling to the death. The women were traditionally dressed in embroidered wool dresses, colorful tops, and elaborately decorated hats. These tinkus, or dance brawls, would last 2 to 3 days and were used as a means to release frustration and anger between the neighboring communities.
Somos Incayata Show!
Basically, each dance has its own music, its own rhythm. She has her own preferences. I have my own preferences. But in all, it's a very diverse culture, and it's very, very pretty.
Is this handmade?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. From Bolivia.
Yeah.
They're all handmade. Like
Wow. I look Bolivian. Oh my gosh. My goodness.
Oh God, I hope it fits you.
I have a big
There
head.
you go. No, there you go. There you go.
And you dance with it, what we just did with this on.
Yes, with all that on. The Bolivian community here in New York specifically is very small. So for me to be able to represent it here, knowing that there's not many of us, it kind of feels like a responsibility, but in a good way, because I get to showcase what my culture is, and I take a lot of pride in doing it right. So it means a lot to me.
Show! Incayata, show! Woo! Yes.
Another proud group of Bolivian dancers include the Caporales San Simón. You may recognize them from the numerous parades that they participate in here in New York. From the NYC Dance Parade to the numerous ethnic parades, the Caporales San Simón are a legion of dancers with bells, whistles, and aggressive movement. It is a sight to see. And here I was in an unassuming basement in Queens to meet with this iconic Bolivian group.
Well, for Caporales San Simón, it brings back a lot of history in Bolivia. In Cochabamba, Bolivia, it was founded in 1978 as a fraternity.
So it's a dance fraternity.
Yeah, it's a dance fraternity.
Okay. Monica's letting me borrow her skirt. What is the name of the skirt?
Pollera.
Pollera.
Yes.
Pollera.
Has 3 layers, you see?
Yeah, 1, 2,
Well, actually 4.
4.
Because it has to go with the colors of the outfit.
I don't want to rip it.
So whatever.
A corset, the Bolivian corset.
Remember, you can look sexy, but at the same time, you have to make sure you don't show too much. Because remember, when you're
We're doing this the whole
right, when you're dancing, you're moving the skirt.
San Simón, New York is one of the many U.S. chapters of this cultural fraternity here in the United States. Fraternidad Folclórica Cultural Caporales Universitarios de San Simón is based in Cochabamba, Bolivia, and is a worldwide community of folkloric dancers passing down the cultural traditions of caporales. The fraternity even has an anthem that all San Simón affiliated groups identify with.
You know, when you see you guys coming down the road, it's just like, oh my gosh, the caporales are coming. It's like that you hear this,
Right.
this like crazy sounds of the bells. You hear guys whistling, and it's infectious. You know, when you see it, you just want to like jump in and join. And then you have the girls.
The girls are cholitas, so their outfits consist of a blouse, miniskirt, and high heel boots. Also a cholita hat.
So it's very important for you that you have to know the basic and the moreno.
And the
so
moreno.
you can start mixing the steps, and you can create your own one if you want.
Right.
So for example, number 2.
Number 2. Let's do number 2.
Put your-
Basic.
A step here, here.
Here.
You know now.
Our mission is always to preserve the Bolivian culture, and here in New York, it's very important to preserve that because we have other groups that represent their other native dances, such dances as tovas, tinkus, morenada, la diablada. I believe that it's the best way to preserve it because newer generations will also come in to express the dance and feel the dance as well.
Moreno. Moreno.
Ha! Yes! Okay, now I feel better. How did you start dancing?
Well, to be honest, my sister brought me into this whole circle. I must have been like, what, 15? I had no idea. Then I started getting into it little by little, and then, like, what, 13 years later, I'm still here.
Men's dance. Turn it into a guy. Let's do it.
I want to see that.
Skirt is coming off.
You pretty much notice, you know, the rhythm with the girls. With the guys, we follow the same basic, but with go.
On your heel?
There you go, heel, and then toe. More pronounced, like they said. 1, 2.
What are the movements based on? Because I see there's a lot of fancy footwork.
Our steps are mostly based on, we're pretty much symbolizing the overseer of the slaves, so we pretty much have to show our strength, a lot of strength, a lot of power. And that's why we jump a lot, we kick a lot, sometimes we kneel on the floor a lot. We need to show off that, you know, we're the boss.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Caporales is a traditional dance from Bolivia with Andean roots. The caporal, the men's character in the dance, represents the overseer of the black slaves brought over to the region in the 16th and 17th centuries. Caporales, in its current form as a folkloric dance, started becoming popular in the late 1960s and has spread throughout South America and the United States, performed during festivities and religious celebrations.
All of our outfits are handmade in Bolivia. We bring them in here. These is where the bells go. I don't really have any right now.
How many outfits do you own?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Oh man, over 15, 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, ballpark range, how much does one complete outfit cost?
It varies the material. I would say around $250 to $300.
How do you feel that the group has really helped you be a part of this community? Or has it?
Well, yeah, of course it has. Most of us, if not all of us, we pretty much arrived into this country at a young age. We pretty much have that sentiment of we miss our country, we miss our food, we miss our people, and once we brought into this group, it opens a lot of doors. We know a lot of people. Sometimes we reach out to people that we've met back in Bolivia, so you get the feeling that you're pretty much back home, at least for a couple of hours. And that's I guess, the aim of this group as a whole in the United States.
That's wonderful.
After getting a lesson with Caporales San Simon, I went to find them at one of the many annual parades that they participate in to see them in action. This is a perfect chance for me to see if I can try a few of the Caporales moves myself. The next day, I meet with Karina and Fabricia Moscoso, sisters in the Caporales San Simon group, who were taking me to one of the few authentically Bolivian restaurants in all of New York. We head to Woodside, Queens, at the corner of 67th Street and Woodside Avenue, home of Cumbre. We meet up with some of the other Caporales San Simon dancers, as this is a local Bolivian favorite.
All the dancers from San Simon!
You grew up eating this food, but you also grew up here in New York.
My parents came here over 45 years ago, and we grew up in Queens, and then there's a small Bolivian community here.
As time went by, more Bolivians started moving here to New York City, and the community started growing.
Yeah.
And along with that came, organizations and clubs and dance groups were formed. And once they started forming, they started sprouting up all over the place. You would see them in parades, and we saw that, and we were like, we want to be a part of that. As children, there weren't that many dance groups around, and I would see videotapes that my relatives would send over from Bolivia.
From Bolivia?
From Bolivia.
Wow.
And they, oh, look, this is a video of the carnival, or, some dancing or some folkloric music or something, and I would see things and I'd be like, oh my God, I would love it. But you know, that's something we thought that you could only do over there. As we got older, social media started bringing everybody together. We're meeting other Bolivians, and each of these people, you know, all these people are teaching us new things, new customs, new traditions, things that maybe we weren't aware of before, and not just you know, the customs, but why they came about, and the history behind it, the social, the political, the heritage, you know. It's really amazing.
So what are the essential dishes we need to eat today?
Well, first we gotta start off with salteñas.
Salteñas.
Yeah, always. So
Very Bolivian.
It looks like an empanada. Same idea. However, inside it's like mixed with meat, chicken, egg, you know. But
And it's a stew.
And the dough is it's thick, and then it's baked. So
Sweeter than a traditional empanada.
Oh, wow. Holy cow. I wasn't expecting them to be so big. Show me.
Yeah, you hold it from the bottom here, and you kind of just bite in, make a little hole, and then start biting a little more. There you go.
And the bread is, oh, wow.
If it's really hot, you know, you kind of just dig in with a spoon.
Well, see, I should have watched you.
And you just
It kind of exploded and burned my hand.
In most cities in Bolivia, salteñas are sold between 7 a.m. and noon, served as a hearty mid-morning snack and meant to hold you over well past lunchtime. Sopa de mani, or peanut soup, is a hearty soup from Cochabamba, Bolivia. It is made of fresh ground peanuts and potatoes, which give it that milky flavor.
it's good in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Recent DNA research studies suggest the peanut plant's origins can be traced back to ancient Bolivia.
It doesn't taste like peanut. Oh, now it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that flavor came in later.
Pique macho is a popular Bolivian dish, consisting of a huge portion of bite-sized beef, fried potatoes, onions, mayonnaise, ketchup, and more.
Macho,
For that person that has the big appetite.
Yeah, you really. There's hot dogs in there.
This is for the person who has the big
macho.
appetite. No, that's why it's called macho. Okay, because
Pique macho.
Chicharrón, or crackling pig, is another dish typical from Cochabamba, Bolivia. It is also one of the most traditional dishes found throughout South America.
Crackling pork, guys. The most delicious thing you will probably eat.
The Bolivian version is served with mote, or hominy corn, to offset the fried pork.
So the San Simon dancers come here after you'd been dancing for hours in the parade. No wonder. I mean, this is how you...
we come here after practices, after parades, we congregate here.
Yeah.
I mean, we already did the Bolivian dancing, why not do the Bolivian eating? right?
Exactly.
With all of this delicious and filling food, I head into the kitchen to meet with Raul, the owner of Cumbre. Raul strives to make the experience here as close to home for all Bolivian Americans living in the area, from the music, to the food, to the ingredients being used.
Raul, you are co-owner of Cumbre.
Yes.
First of all, the food is amazing. Second of all, we are having so much fun.
We try, to bring all the Bolivian tastes into here. Actually, it's a big work. Actually, there are trips to Virginia, there are trips to Florida to bring, Bolivian real stuff, that we imported from Bolivia to the restaurant. So, so you can what you can do, when you taste the food, actually you can feel like you're in Bolivia.
Yeah. So come to Cumbre, you will be transported to Bolivia, here with Raul and everyone else in the restaurant.
And bring your passport.
Yes, bring your passport. Claudia, you are such a beautiful dancer. What do you love so much about dancing with San Simon?
I love my music, so I feel like I'm in Bolivia when I'm dancing.
Yeah.
I think that's the time that I remember everything I used to do there. I'm listening to my music. I love dancing.
I don't know how you do all the dances, but
You have to feel what you're doing, and when you do something with love, of course you're gonna show that to the rest of the people.
That's beautiful.
I love my music.
Yeah. When the music's playing, Bolivians can't keep their feet from moving. That's why this restaurant is amazing. Woo!
From the Bolivian kitchen in Queens, I make my way to Port Chester, New York, into the living room of Jerry Riveros, a Bolivian American who made New York his home about 10 years ago. His Bolivian folkloric band, Marcax Laiku Bolivia, rehearses here twice a week, practicing the various traditional songs and musical styles that come from his home country. What is the name of this group?
Marcax.
Marcax Laiku Bolivia.
Yep.
Marcax.
And the translation is for my country.
For my country.
Yeah.
Jerry, his two younger brothers, his father, and a few friends make up this band, and they were all kind enough to have me as an honorary member of the group for the evening. No! 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 How do you do it? Because they're getting in the way.
Yeah, you just have to, like...
You just gotta figure it out.
Point it to the tube.
Oh, man.
Yep. You did it. You did it.
Yeah. The siku, or the Bolivian pan flute, is an instrument originating from the indigenous Aymara people. The siku is typically made of bamboo shoots, and the instrument ranges in size, starting with the ika, or chuli, which is the smallest and creates the highest pitches. The malta is the most common size. The next octave lower is the sanka, and the largest and lowest musical pitches of the family is the toyo.
Well, since I was a little kid, I used to love to play with my dad.
This is your dad?
Yeah, he's my
What?
dad.
This is a family affair, it seems like. It's definitely...
Well, we didn't mean it to make it a family, but since I was here, my father was here, and the other two just joined the group.
Your brothers?
Yeah, my brothers.
Yeah.
When I came here, I didn't know how to play the instruments. Like, the feeling you get when you're far away from your country, it's like unique. I can't not explain it. It's nostalgic. It's special. One day, me and my brother, we started to just play it for fun. And little by little, I started to grab the bigger, the smallest, and at the end, I learned how to play the quena, which is the most difficult. It's a rain. They call it rain, right?
Yeah, the rain stick.
And it has the name of the band, Marca Laiku. Here's the name of the band.
The rain stick is a hollow tube filled with pebbles or beans which fall through small pins arranged inside. Its sound emulates that of falling water, and it was believed to invoke rainstorms during times of drought. The instrument is believed to have been invented by the Aztecs, but there is speculation that it may have originated with the Incas. Its sound is prevalent throughout South America, with variations of the same instrument found in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Australia.
So what we do is like play all kinds of music from each part of Bolivia. Like let's say from Santa Cruz, Oruro, La Paz. We try to play all types of music from the cities. Being away is really hard. Apart from your family, your friends, your culture, and your country. It's really hard, and you get this feeling. You just wanna like do something for your country, contribute to your country, to the culture, far away from your country. I entered the group 8 years ago. I cannot stop playing. I just keep playing. I want more.
That's great.
It's hard to stop.
New York's Bolivian community may not be the largest in the United States, but its pride in its heritage, cultural dances and music, and folk traditions are strong. These pockets of families in this tiny community stay connected through song and dance. From one connection sparked by a love for the homeland, families are formed, communities are built, and stories are continued to be passed on to generations. Strength may be measured in numbers, but it is also measured in depth and in heart. And New York's Bolivian American community has proven that. And I'll see you on my next Barefooted NYC adventure, wherever it may take me. Woo! Thanks, guys. You can stay connected with us on travelbarefeet.com, where you'll find extra bonus videos, join our Barefeet series conversations through social media, and stay updated with our newsletter.
I am here with two of the dancers from San Simon, Karina and Fabricia, who are sisters. Did I say that already? No.
Excellent food, and we
Let's
get
go.
our Bolivian food into it. Sorry,
what am I adding? I don't know.
Here we go, you know. We're so excited to eat.
Yeah, let's go eat this food. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do it again.